Greetings, my hoodoo boos, greetings. A lot of people are hitting me up. Sorry, I'm gonna, hopefully that fixes the glare. Okay. A lot of people are hitting me up saying that they're stagnant in their spell work. Their spells aren't popping. They feel like they have blockage. They haven't heard from their ancestors. And they feel like that there's something wrong or they're doing something wrong. So let me break something down to you. And this was just placed in my mind. The ancestors wanted me to give this message. And I want you guys to hear me out and hear me good. If you are feeling this way, especially if you're a new baby in the craft, there's a few things that could be happening. But, and I'm gonna, break that down so that you can understand and absorb what I'm about to say. If you've done your road opener work and you really truly feel like the road is opened, then you probably don't have blockage. I mean, if you are maintaining and cleansing on a regular basis, you probably don't have blockage. Blockage happens and builds up if you're out of sync with yourself, meaning this: if you are not doing your regular maintenance work of cleansing, like you have to ritually cleanse yourself, your space, your tools, etc. It's not like you do one spell and you have to cleanse in order to do that spell. No, you're always cleansing. You have a routine. Like, you know how you wake up in the morning and you brush your teeth? You know how you take your shower at night or in the morning or whatever it is you may do? You know how you mop your floor a few times a week or whatever? It's not, you don't just wait for something to spill on the floor before you mop your floor. You mop your floor because you mop your floor. You don't wait and say, okay, I think it's Tuesday, I'm gonna brush my teeth. No, you brush your teeth as a routine to keep your teeth looking clean and white, right? Okay. So with cleansing, it's the exact same thing. You maybe let me give you an example of what I do. When I walk through the door of my apartment and I already have my black salt down, I change that out once every season, because I don't never have nobody over my house. It's just me and them badass cats, right? Not only do I change my black salt out, I burn sage maybe 2 or 3 times a week. I burn frankincense maybe 3 or 4 times a week. I burn oil every single day, different oils, and I'm always cleansing my space with other stuff. I burn palo whenever I see fit. I mostly burn sage and frankincense as my cleansing ritual, okay? And I also have different crystals I carry in my titties. You guys already know, I talked about that already. So if you're keeping up on that, it's a 9 chance out of 10 you don't have a blockage, okay? All right. So then it comes down to, I still feel like I'm not hearing from my ancestors. Okay, well, here's the thing. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to hear from them? Because if you're sitting up here using the ancestors as your personal genie and you want to hit them up, rub on them so that they can grant different things in your life, but you're not hearing from them, there's a high probability that you're using them and they're not listening to you because you haven't spent enough time doing shadow work and you haven't spent enough time just giving thanks to them. And then the next person might say, well, I have given thanks. You may have given thanks once or twice. Well, you've been spinning around the sun maybe 30 times, maybe 20 times, however old you are, meaning how many times you rotated around the sun. And you've only given thanks to them twice, but they've been, that bloodline is thousands of years old. You haven't spent a period of time being grateful for just them, for the suffering that they've done, but you already got your hand out. So this is what I need y'all to do. This is a homework session that I need y'all to do. I need you to reflect. I need you to sit up and spend some time reflecting on, have you spent enough time with your ancestors just saying thank you? That's something you're going to have to sit up and meditate and ask yourself. And you don't need nobody to be around you. You don't need to post, oh, I gave thanks today. It's not even that serious. It's literally between you and them. You know what I mean? You're not you're not in this group to impress a goddamn person. Because most of the people in the group, if they're leveled up, can see through the fuckery. So you don't have to impress anybody. You don't have to impress your mama. You don't have to impress your cousin. You don't have to impress none of your co-workers. It's not even that serious because everybody is on their own path. And I could care less how another person practices. That doesn't really affect me. You understand what I mean? A vast majority of the rituals, if I take 10 rituals that I do, 98 of them are just giving thank you. I rarely petition for things specific for myself. Rarely. I do petition for other people depending on the situation, but I rarely petition for myself. You know why? Because I'm always giving so much thank you and so much appreciation and so humble that they work it out without me even petitioning. You know what I mean? Like if you come inside my house, you'll see an offering and a ritual, and you think that I'm petitioning something. I'm not. I'm just saying thank you. Sometimes I'll feed a deity. Well, most of the time I'll feed a deity just because I just want to feed them. You feed the ancestors because you want to feed them. You don't feed them because you want them to do something for you. That's not what I do. And if you have that type of mindset, that the whole premise and the whole cornerstone of you doing ritual work and you feeding the ancestors is because you want them to give you something, then you're in the wrong. You need to take your ass back to the church and give your money back to that jackleg ass pastor who be filling on titties behind his wife's back. Go do that, because that's disrespectful. And here's the thing. When people say that I haven't heard from my ancestors, quote unquote, they don't understand what it means to hear from them. What they want is for a deity to sit on their bed and have a conversation with them. Or they want them to hear an audible voice. Sometimes it ain't even that. Deities speak to you, and the ancestor spirit speaks to you different ways, depending on the person and depending on how the fuck they feel like speaking to you. It might be through a dream. It might be through a smell. It might be through a feeling. It might be through another person. It might be, you know what I'm saying, through meditation. It all just depends. So a lot of times people say, I haven't heard from them. But then when you ask them, have you blase, and blase? Oh yeah, that's them. You know what I mean? You guys got to understand that. And you also got to understand, if you don't remember nothing else I said in this rambling ass video that I'm doing, you have to keep a humble heart, and you have to show thanks more than you have your damn hand out asking for shit. A lot of people, oh my gosh, it's so annoying. And I can't really get mad because people are new, but they come into this hoodoo life or African spirituality or you know, pagan practices, whatever it may be. And the first thing they do, because I guess the church didn't work out. They prayed to God and Jesus and nothing worked, and they saw that it wasn't shit going on. So they decide to come over this realm, and they find out that we can petition for things we want. And it'll happen if you do the work, right? So the first thing they want to do is do a money spell or do a love spell to get this dude over here or that girl over there, to stop him from being with her, or to punish this person over here. They ain't thought about saying thank you. They ain't thought about spending a time just lifting up the people whose shoulders you stand on so that you could practice freely. They're not thinking about the people that got their ass beat and murdered for us to even have this practice of hoodoo. They ain't thinking about that. No. That goes on the back burner. They want that money right now. They want that lottery win type shit. You know what I'm saying? They're not thinking about the whole concept of a mojo bag and where it came from, on how you have this little bag of herbs and crystals and whatever that you carry around that you got to keep hidden in your body, not inside your body, but like maybe in your breast or on your person, that it's secret, that if anybody see you with that, your throat could be slashed for being a root worker. And right now you can buy a mojo bag on my damn website and carry it around, and it wouldn't even matter if anybody saw. But you don't think about the people who made that possible for you. You know what I mean? You don't think about how they had to sneak bay leaves in their body, on their body, and hopefully take it. Couldn't write. See, we have the luxury of writing on bay leaves right now, but our ancestors couldn't write. If you were caught knowing how to read and write, that's your life. That's your ass. That's your family's ass. So they would just put their intent in the bay leaf, crumble it up, and sprinkle it, and you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Where they had to take the scraps that was given to them in order to be practitioners and build off that, and then orally pass that down to their children, who orally passed it down to their children, you know what I'm saying? For the point where we can have books now that we're allowed to read. I can post a video with my whole fucking face in it, and I don't have to worry about the KKK kicking my door in and killing me. And people want to bypass all that shit to ask for a money spell from these very people. You're petitioning the very fucking people who were murdered for you to practice. And you want to spend time asking and begging, but don't want to say thank you. And don't want to feed them, don't want to do none of that shit, but you just want your handout. And then you calling me up and you're fucking sending me emails and sending the administrators, the moderators of my group or whatever, talking about I'm not hearing from my ancestors. But you ain't done none of the work to hear from them. You just want your handout. I'm offended by that. I'm offended by that. Not because I'm not offended, because if people don't know, they don't know. And that's not their fault, because there are a lot of babies. And I get that. I was a baby at one point. But I'm offended. The thing that offends me is when people feel like they have an entitlement and they demand that the deities give them shit, but they don't never want to give nothing in return. They don't never want to spend time to say thank you and understand the depths of African spirituality and how it was beaten out of the back of our ancestors. And we didn't have a choice. And they told us that we had to bow a knee to Jesus and Allah. We didn't have a choice. And people always talk about your ancestors died for you to vote, but they don't never talk about the ancestors that died for us to practice our traditional spiritual systems. I am the African witch bitch. If you are are offended by this video, then the shoe fits. So you need to lace that bitch up and wear it. And I don't care if I lose subscribers for this. I don't care if you guys, decide not to fuck with me. But I would be doing a disservice to the umbrella of African spirituality if I didn't tell you that our whole practice is not built on you being a money grubbing ass, fucking greedy ass, non-appreciative asshole when you just got your hand out wanting to use the very people whose shoulders you stand on for the luxuries that you have today in this realm. That is not their purpose. Yes, they will do it. They will give to you. They will make your life abundant, but that is not the whole purpose of our practice. We are not users, and I'm not gonna condone anybody being a user. I get people trying to use the fuck out of me all the time. They're in the church or wherever they are, or maybe they're not even practitioners, and the first thing they do, oh, you're a witch, do a money spell for me. And I'm just looking at them like, oh, you're a witch? Make my husband come back and leave the bitch he just married. We're divorced now, but I want him back. And I'm like, And it incenses me, and it's like I can feel the ancestors crying, because this is what you've reduced me to. You ever listen to that song Strange Fruit? You ever listen to it? By Lady Day? And I literally have a picture of our ancestors hanging from trees for being practitioners, or being suspected of being practitioners, or being beaten to death. The ones who refuse to convert to Christianity and Islam being beaten to death because they refuse to let go of their spiritual systems, their African spiritual systems. And your bitch ass got your hand out talking about do a money spell. Meanwhile, if I did decide to do it, which I fucking wouldn't, because it's offensive as fuck, you're gonna go right to the church and thank the very fictitious make-believe ass deity, Jesus, that never existed, for giving you exactly what the people whose DNA go through your veins, our ancestors, they're the ones that move shit in this realm. It bothers me, but again, I can't tell people how to feel. I can only let you know that if you feel like that your spells aren't popping, I'm going off on a tangent, spend some time just giving thanks. Shit, it might be a year of all you doing is saying thank you. All you doing is routinely feeding them. All you doing is, buying little trinkets for your ancestor altar. And it might be a year or two before you get anything that you petition to work, but you need to put your fucking time in, because I had to put my time in, and other practitioners who are seasoned had to put their time in. You guys have a great day. Ashe.